The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast platform, its affiliates, or even the hosts. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, financial, or professional advice. The host and guests are not liable for any errors of omission in the content, nor for any losses, injuries, or damages arising from the use of the information provided. Listeners are encouraged to seek professional advice relevant to their specific circumstances. Now enjoy.
You are now running with scissors. Let's go.
Hello.
What's
going on?
Here. No, not much. What's here?
It looks like it's just me and you today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We missing some. Well, welcome to Running with Scissors, everyone. It's looks like it's just me, Michelle with the 1L, and my bro over there.
RG, in the place to be.
That guy. Okay. That's your caption today. Love it.
I know. Well, I was accused of being the Sith Lord of last night's show, so I figured that would be the most fitting title for the given. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's today? What are we talking about today? Interesting topics today. Who do you trust when everybody's an expert?
Ooh.
Everybody is an expert now. You know what's crazy is because you can go, I always say that you can find anybody on social media to agree with you.
Yes.
Your opinion could be off the wall to many people. There's somebody, and then once you get validated by that one person, you think you're right.
Yep. Even if they just as wrong as rain with you.
And they could be wrong too. They could be wrong too. You could scroll your phone for 5 minutes. You're gonna find a therapist. You're gonna find a financial advisor. You're gonna find a relationship coach. You're gonna find what else? You're gonna find? You're gonna find a healer. You're gonna find a life
coach. Yeah.
Everything. 5 minutes. You're gonna find all of that. Now, when everybody's talking, who's actually listening?
Oh, good question. I think it depends on the audience, though, low key.
But here's the thing. Another question. When everybody's talking, who are you listening to? Hey,
what's up?
When everybody's talking, who are you listening to?
It depends on what we're talking about here. If it's world news, I'm probably going to look at like 2 or 3 different main media sources to find out whether it's true or not. That's usually how I kind of vet world information.
Yeah.
Because it's very rare that they all get it wrong. You know what I mean? Or you get a variation that all kind of holds true through all 3 to 4 sources. And when it comes to people, there's only a handful of people I take at face value. And I still got like 8 fingers left. So
right.
You gotta be super careful when listening to people.
So I like what you said about that, because you do your own research. You go out there, so you're kind of not just listening to what the masses are saying.
Exactly.
Where so many people are doing that. I can see a post and it talking about something and everybody's on that thing believing it, and I'm like, do y'all go and do any kind of research, or y'all just go with the flow?
And you know when I started doing that, because I fell victim to that when the internet kind of first got popping. I seen this Instagram post. I was like, oh man, that's messed up. And I was getting mad. And then I actually seen the opposite. And I kept seeing the opposite and the opposite and the opposite.
Yeah.
And TLC said this. And I was like, man,
Yeah.
So
And I one time I posted something that was not true. And I just reposted it because I was like, oh, like you. And I was like, and the next thing I know, I'm taking it down. And then I'm like, yo, that was wrong, after I researched it. So I stopped doing it. I said, before I will post anything, or I'm making sure I do my due diligence. And I think that's what you should do in life, period.
You're right. That makes sense to me.
Don't just be following the masses, because they're going to lead you down a slippery slope that you're not going to be able to get back up from.
Well, I will say this, right? And I seen a video about this. Sometimes we hear something like far-fetched, you'd be like, man, that fool tripping. And then it comes out later that they were right. Like, was it FTX, when people were talking about how, like, that company was mad shady and they actually didn't have as much money as we thought they did. And we're like, man, whatever, you just hating because Tom Brady on a commercial. Next thing you know, my man going to jail. So, yeah, sometimes.
There's a lot of things that we see on the internet that don't necessarily really concern us. Exactly. Or benefit our lives in any way. Mm-hmm. So it's like that instance that you just said, I could give a damn about them having all that money or losing all that money and going to jail, because it's not really affecting me.
Well, you know what it is? A lot of common people were getting into crypto because of the people involved in it. So a lot of people did lots of dough, to the point where I was like, maybe I should kind of look into crypto. And then my OLD kicked in. I'm like, how am I going to spend money to buy money? And then that's when I kind of cut crypto short.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I'm spending my money on anything, best to believe I'm researching it, because you're not about to just, you're not just going to get my money. It's not going to happen that way. Not because I saw something on social media that said, yeah, do this.
This will be a thing.
Right.
I feel it, but I feel like, a lot, if information overload can actually cripple our hands, you know what I mean? Like, there's only so much information that I can take. Like, for example, even in regards to the crypto thing, I think about when I was first being told, bro, it's gonna be a scam, this is gonna be a scam, it's gonna be a scam, it's gonna be a scam. So long ago. And now, you know what I'm saying, now it's trading for, $60,000 to $70,000, and at the high point it reached $100,000+. So, it's like, that's part of the reason why, I don't listen to everybody, but because of the fact that, one, there's also this thing about us getting this biased news, especially when it comes to social media. Yeah. We're in our own echo chambers, which is part of the reason why, even with me, I'll interview people on from multiple backgrounds, just so that I can have the ability to understand, oh, all right, so how are you guys believing? How are you guys coming to that conclusion? You know what I'm saying? And then being able to spout that rhetoric, right? Because it's like, oh, okay, because it's being presented through this lens, which appeals to you, which means that you're now going to go into your groups of people and have those talking points, right? And how it's being presented to me is in this lens, and that's how I'm able to have these talking points, which is totally fine, you know what I'm saying, in essence, but it does in fact leave a whole lot of room for miscommunication, people spouting lies. Like, for example, there was this person that was saying that, oh, hey, people are on TikTok thanking Trump for lowering gas prices, but it's like, fam,
obviously they don't have a car, because they know
goddamn. Clearly they don't have a car.
And it's just like, what are what data set are you even comparing the gas prices to? You know what I mean?
Or gas pump are you driving to, fam?
Exactly, because in real life, you know what I mean? That's not a thing. But also, you're having to deal with the fact that, hey, in America, we don't really have a global news outlet that we can actually see different people's perspective on the same thing. We're kind of just isolated into our own little world, unless you're someone like me who will actually go and try to find it. You know what I mean? You have to you actually have to take that to do that extra research. But even then, right? Some people's perspectives are biased in what they're presenting,
True. So American media is not going to give you the higher truth. They're going to give you the stuff they want you to see. So if you're not willing to do the research, then just be careful about what you spot off, unless you were exactly there and you've seen it for your own too. I think that's probably the best rule of thumb I use for most things. I probably have to take in way more world news than I probably would on a normal basis because I deal in import. So me understanding how the tariffs work has actually probably made me listen and pay attention more than I probably would have on a normal basis. And my business, I have to be right. So now I'm forced to kind of do the research and be super aware of everything happening around me. So it's not like I'm trying to be some worldly guy. It's money involved, so I have to pay attention to it. So, sometimes your necessity actually makes you a better or worse researcher than you really want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Information overload is not always a good thing.
Absolutely.
It's not. And as we know, social media has given everybody a voice.
Yeah.
And that can be dangerous. It's not always a good thing. Taking information because you got everybody. Everybody's doing everything, and it's multiple. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
because you got so many different people that are telling you that you should be vegan. Then you got people saying you shouldn't be vegan. It's not good for you. Don't eat that. So it's like you have to do what works for you, and you have to. I keep saying it. You have to do your research. So I do have a question for you guys.
Man,
what's up?
Do you think people are more informed today or just more opinionated?
I would say a combination of both. Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
No, like we can't. You and I were about to say the exact. You and I were about to say the exact same thing. Literally, it's a combination of both. Like, there's a lot more information to have a lot more opinions about. Like, bro, like, the wild part about it is the fact that like how people are dying on hills that don't need to be died on. Like, you don't have to die on that like heinous hill. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay for you to like, just look at something and just let it go by. But people will really be in these comments debating. Bro, like, I've seen so much, bro, that it's kind of it's aggravating.
It is.
Yes.
I could say for me, I grew up in two worlds. And I know what you mean by that. Because the first half of my life was analog. There was no internet. There was no nothing. We pretty much had to read and figure shit out. Then the second half of my life was all digital, where I went from having a little bit of information to like, holy shit, overload. How much more do I need? So I seen where our planet and our community grew because we had so much information. You could understand what's happening over there across the sea because you could see someone living that life. So there are a lot of good points about it. But the bad part is everybody can say what the hell they want at the same time. So you really have to guard your mind and really filter through what you want to take in. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, because I've seen it on both sides, because a lot of stuff that's happening in the world, especially in like Africa and stuff like that, I never would have found out if it wasn't for the information that's freely given. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I would have still been We Are the World with Stevie Wonder playing the horns for a cause that didn't mean anything in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Because we thought we were doing something over those little small gestures when there were bigger things that we should have been fighting for even back in the 80s. But we didn't know.
But then that goes back to our topic. Who do you trust when everybody's an expert? You got to trust yourself. That's who you need to trust. Start trusting yourself first and stop putting so much into what other people are thinking and saying and feeling. If you don't trust yourself enough that you would get on social media or go online and believe what everyone else is saying, but not yourself, social media will make you second guess your own thoughts.
Well, it's bias based, right? So if you say that this is the greatest thing of all time, guess what? You can find someone that's going to agree with you. Like you said, the greatest thing of all time.
That's earlier. That's the thing. So where you always find someone that's going to agree with you.
That's why I said what I said about, hey, echo chambers. There's always going to be a reflection of what it is that you want to hear, or something, or confirmation bias of what it is that you believe. Well, you gotta be someone that actually seeks out the other side.
Yes.
And that which will literally, because if you do, I'm telling you, that is when you're like, oh, okay, based upon what they're saying from their side of things, I now have a better understanding that no, I'm very much so right. They also
Right.
bullshit. Like they are like that
Right.
you know what I mean? Like it will either actually legit confirm or it'll be the thing that makes you say, oh, well, no, maybe I need to go back and look even further. And then you do the research and then you say, okay, well, these are some of the positives. These are definitely, but all of this, these are all the negatives in which is stacked up against you, which you know what I'm saying, which undermine the positives.
Right.
Or you would just end up just totally just sometimes you might change your opinion.
I have a question. How do you know when you're in the echo chamber, though? That's the better question, because a lot of people, I don't think they exactly know that they're leaning towards one side or the other, and they're not seeing the whole picture. How do you know when you're in the echo chamber?
You know when you're in an echo chamber is when you go to social media for validation. That's when you're in an echo chamber. I know I'm right. Watch this. Look. My
thing is, if you have a big enough platform, you got to be smart enough to know not to go on social media because of the fact that you will definitely see if your platform is big enough, you are definitely going to see some people that disagree with you.
And without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
And I love. I mean, there's nothing wrong with disagreement. That to me is a great conversation. We don't have to agree about the same thing. Right. That's what we're talking to somebody that agrees with them all the time.
Right.
There's no substance there at all.
There's no growth in that either.
There's no growth in that, right? Because I could be dead wrong. I could be dead wrong, but swear I'm right. And as my family and friends will say, yeah, she thinks she's right all the time. Most times I am. I'll say 99% of the time.
She's like, I am always right, but I'm saying no.
Yeah, most of the time I'm right. I will say that I can be wrong.
Every once in a while, on a weeknight.
Listen,
11:59.
I can't be right at. Listen, a clock is, what they say. What's the saying about a clock?
Oh, a broken clock is twice. That's right.
It's like twice, 2 times a day.
It's right twice. right 2 times a day, right? So
I hope that's not your standard, because that means you've been wrong for like 48 hours and you just got it right twice.
Listen,
so I figure I want you to be the opposite side of that.
I'm wrong. All right. You got me. You got me. So, okay, confidence versus credibility, because there's a difference between lived experience versus trained expertise.
Right.
Yes.
So someone that's a trained expert, right, can tell you all of the facts, the data, all of those things, right? But your experience in that thing has told you something different.
Yep. I give you a prime example.
Wrong? No, you're not wrong because you lived it.
I can give you a prime example. I was at the Million Man March in college. Now, I've read books about it, and it sounds really cool, but it will never, ever give you the true feeling of what it felt to be in that crowd and feel the energy and feel the love and see all the power that was in that one spot. And the fear, by the way, because I'm like, oh, we are caught up in D.C. It's only one missile they need to take out half of Black America. So there was a little bit of fear with all this greatness. And a book will never, ever tell you about that moment, seeing the powerful people, being out in the crowd with guys like what people you see on TV, just normal people walking around and feeling the love, watching kids just run through thousands of people knowing their kids were good. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that experience gives you that the books cannot. Yeah, they can tell you Avery Johnson was there. They can tell you Magic Johnson was there. But you wasn't sitting right next to him in the crowd on the White House lawn.
Right.
And
you know what I'm saying?
How it made me feel. Like, you can't tell me how that thing made me feel in that moment. The book says one thing, but my experience told me something else. So I have another question.
Ma'am.
Have you ever taken advice that sounded good but led you wrong?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. In real life, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't speak on what it was, but
Yeah, I can't think about it either.
I can't think of nothing that'll be appropriate for a pod that'll be like, oh yeah.
It's called statutes of limitation. They
It's
are
called,
not up.
bro, what, bro? Let me tell you, they are never up. I ain't
They're
gonna lie
never
to
up.
you, bro. Like, don't be what's going. Don't be out. And that's the thing. Here's my real life advice for anybody that's on podcast. Hey man, they're gonna use what you said on that podcast against you. So,
Oh yeah.
and this is coming from
Absolutely.
someone. This is coming from someone that said some heinous stuff on some pods. So just be ready for that. So
Yes.
They gonna remember you said on show number 5,
Yeah.
topic was this, and you'd be like, dang, what?
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people are actually paying attention that you don't think.
Yeah.
So that's
Sure.
one reason I'm not fake, but I am measured. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that there are other people involved with the things I say. So I try to be as honest as I can without giving up too much of the, of the family jewels, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
True that. Information overload can equal confusion.
Every single time.
Confusion.
Every single time. Man, we don't need, and you don't need it. I'm telling you, you don't need it.
Too many voices can lead to paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't even know which way to go, how to think, what to think, you don't even know. So get you stuck.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. Yeah, you're right.
Because you're hearing this from this side, you're hearing this from this side, and you're like, dang, which way do I go?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, how do you filter information without feeling overwhelmed?
Sometimes there's no good answer to any of this stuff, and you just have to just go with what you feel is right. Sometimes this is where you just have to take a choice based on your conscience, and I see this a lot of times when we get into like things like politics, we get into things like faith, because there are a lot of these things are unseen, and we're just going off of what we feel. So sometimes this world is super great. That's one thing I had to understand. And there's a lot of times there's no real good answers to a lot of this stuff. Yeah. We just have to do the best we can with the information we have.
But no, I do think that you have to turn the noise off sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if you're overwhelmed by all of the information, you have to turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Disconnect yourself from all of it and say, okay, I'm going to take some information, because that's all it is information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're just receiving it. Now you have to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah.
That's when you have to sit by yourself and you have to figure out what works for you. Don't just be jumping off the roof or jumping off the ledge with some information like, okay, I'm going to go do this right now, without sitting and thinking about it and processing some things.
But it also depends on the moment too, because sometimes you have to make a decision right then and there. Yeah. And you have to live with it.
Is that a situation where you're just getting information from everywhere in those moments?
It depends. Jay-Z said it best. Sometimes you have to learn to live with regret, because you're going to make a mistake. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. But I wouldn't say just jump off of social media and be reading a whole bunch of stuff and everybody coming at you and you go make a decision.
Yeah. No, what I mean by that is like in your personal life. If you're taking the social media and running with it without kind of figuring it out, you're asking for a fade.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But I'm just talking about just information in general. Imagine having an emergency and you have very little information, but you have to take action. Some people take social media as that.
Because that's not information overload.
Right.
That's just, taking what's happening right now and making a decision. Okay. Right. And you may go left, you may go right. Who knows?
Indeed.
You just pray that whatever direction you go in is going to be the direction you need to go in, or disaster could take place.
Yes.
Sure. You got to start, people have to start trusting themselves over popular opinion. What looks good. Because sometimes I feel like we can live for what other people think.
Mm-hmm. True. Validation is like, what do you call it? Dopamine. The simple fact that if you're a person who you haven't been hurt, or you feel like you're not being hurt, and then you find a bunch of people that sound like you, feel like you, it could be intoxicating. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely intoxicating.
Because of the fact that you actually have like what you feel as a tribe, what you feel like are friends,
right.
Or what you feel like are, people that have an understanding of you because of the fact that they agree with you on this particular issue.
Right. It's true. It is so true.
Yeah, man.
So you guys want to hit this break real quick?
Oh, it's break time. Okay. Yes, let's do it.
WSAN Radio, the soul of America and beyond. Turn it up and feel the rhythm of the greatest old school music ever made. From Smokey Robinson and the Temptations to Diana Ross, Aretha Franklin, Luther Vandross, and more. This is the music that touches your soul and moves your spirit 24/7. Listen live now at WSANradio.com and take the vibe with you everywhere. Download the WSAN Radio app today on the Apple App Store or Google Play. WSAN Radio, feel the soul.
Got me together with this two-piece. It's the good leggings, no see-through business.
We are back, minus a person.
Well, if you're just joining us,
And then there were two.
talking about we're talking about who do you trust when everyone's an expert. I just want to give a shout out to WFAN Radio, where we are streaming live every week, every Tuesday
Mm-hmm. Dude,
on SAN Radio. Mhm.
I got a spoiler alert. Somebody in our network might be joining the WSAN group. To be determined. But yeah, there's a good possibility we might have another guest or DJ actually working on WSAN. Just saying.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it.
So thank you, WSAN, for giving us the opportunity to represent your brand. So we do appreciate you
sure.
very much. Very much. So,
All right. So
you brought up something. Before we get started, you brought up something really important, right? I thought about that. Have you ever been online and everyone has like this? Oh, I need to get rid of my like tetanus or my ringworm, or I got a thumb infection. And then they say get wheatgrass, some goat liver, and whatever, and you keep trying to get sick. You know what I'm saying? So,
use this. Do this. Drink this.
yes, tonics. So
Then you hear, don't drink that because it does this.
yes.
So, like I said, you know, especially when it comes to what you're going to put in your body, you want to make sure that you are well aware of what it is that you're doing.
Yes.
And I'm not saying some of these people on the internet are not, you know, they're not giving out good information, because a lot of them are.
Yeah.
Because I am a person that uses a lot of herbs, but they work. So,
Yeah.
but I'm not just going to be like, okay, well, they said take it. I'm also going to go do some research on what it is, what it does as well. I'm following people who tell you to do your research.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just follow people who say, do this because I said do this.
Yeah, because results may vary, right? You might grab all these exotic fruits and vegetables and juices and berries, and you might be allergic to that shit. So you need to be very careful about what you put in your body.
You can't do anything. They have something called the duck flower. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Nope, today years old. I just learned about
it. And it's I feel like it's like a mushroom, but it's some kind of thing, fungus thing that you take, and it's supposed to clean you out. But it's vicious. It's like it's vicious. I never did it because one of the things it said was if you are asthmatic, not to take it. If you have heart problems, not to take it.
Yeah.
So, but it's a detox, but it's a 24-hour detox where you are vomiting pretty much your entire everything out for then the 24 hours.
Oh, that sounds pretty gnarly. Let's see what the hell this flower look like. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a thing. But I've heard people that said that they've done it.
Hey, man, they look like Feed Me Seymour. They look like Little Shop of Horrors. Why the hell are you thinking that?
And I heard that people have done it, have felt amazing afterwards.
I guess so. That looks dangerous, by the way.
Yeah.
That looks mad dangerous.
And what is it saying that it is? It's not. Is it a mushroom?
Oh, let's see. Let me see if I can pull that back up.
I don't think it's a mushroom. I just think it's a.
All right, it's a pelican flower. It's deciduous vine with one of the world's largest flowers that emits odor that smells like rotting meat and attracts flies. Why are you eating that? That's
what?
It says it's a deciduous vine with the world's largest flowers that emits an odor that smells like rotting meat and attracts flies.
And that's what they said. It smells bad and it tastes awful.
No, thanks.
It tastes awful.
It sounds awful. No, thanks. Research done. Never touching that.
I'm saying you have to research these things because don't just do it because you say, okay, I want a good detox, so I'm going to get it. Because you saw 10 other people say that they did it and they felt great afterwards. And you get it and have a heart attack.
You know what else can detox you?
Huh?
You know what else is a detox? The
What?
stomach pump. When you actually put that shit in your body and you get sick. That's a detox also. When they pump your stomach out and charge you a fee.
I was going to do it. I was going to do it. I really was going to do it. But again, I did my research. I have asthma. Like, I was like, yeah, okay, no, I'm not going to do it.
No, please don't. That would suck.
That would suck.
People to do the show. So you can't get it over.
Right. So I have a thing where it's called the algorithm problem. Well, I don't have it, but yeah.
Please explain.
You're not seeing truth. You're seeing what keeps you engaged. So be mindful of that when you're scrolling on the internet. Everything is not always what it seems. It's what is going to keep you engaged, is what is going to entertain you. Because we'll get on there and we'll see information and we're just like, oh, that happened. You know, I'm telling somebody to be like, oh, I heard that such and such and such did such and such and such. And I'll go, no, that's not true. Because I was reading something else and it said such and such and such. So now who's right?
Sometimes I feel like the cleanest search is the first or second search when you're looking for stuff. Because after that point, it's like, oh, you like this. Here, what about this?
Exactly. Exactly. What you watch on social media is what they're going to keep feeding you. So be mindful of that. Take a social media break every now and again, too. Like, get off and use your own brain. Read a book.
Or just watch our show. You just watch our show.
Yes.
That is what we call a shameless plug.
Calling me and they know I'm podcasting.
That is so amazing, by the way.
Right.
Like,
let me answer right quick.
This is great. I almost want to be like
after the podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's so funny.
On camera.
Real life, baby. We're not faking it. Shout out. Hey, the show is only on for 30 more minutes. You can call it back after the show.
Yeah, I'll call it back after the show. So, quick question. I don't know what happened to Ezel, but I guess he'll come back or maybe he won't. But are we learning or are we just being validated?
Ooh, I would say it could be a combination of both.
For some?
Yeah, I would say a combination of both for most people in some way, shape, form, right? So let's say you say, man, I think I seen this a couple of days ago where this guy was talking about how this company was kind of shady. And everybody said, oh, dude, you're just hating. And then they messed around and they were actually shady. Matter of fact, they were talking about Honey. You know that little web browser Honey?
Yeah.
And they ended up messing around, actually getting sued by the government because they were like selling data and they were actually like stealing like the profits of the actual streamers who represented them.
Yeah.
So yeah, so sometimes it could be a little bit of both, you know. little bit of both.
That's the thing. It's a little bit of both means that you are confused because you don't know what it is.
Mm.
You don't know what it is. Like I hate to say this, but I loved it when times was so much simpler. When all we had was the encyclopedia. But then again, it's like I don't know. Like I said, I remember when that's all we did have. You know, we just had regular news on the channels. We didn't have all of this other stuff. And then, but then I guess a lot of things went on that we didn't see, but they were still going on. Like now, I do believe that social media and the internet does allow us to see more.
Mm-hmm.
That were hidden before is not hidden anymore. So now it's just kind of out there.
Yeah, I'll give you a prime example. Black Wall Street. There was never going to be an encyclopedia in my childhood that was ever going to explain what the hell Black Wall Street was. Or any of these other things.
Police brutality for us. Yeah. We didn't see it. It was still going on. A lot of it we didn't see.
Technology and social media. When was the first time we actually seen in real time someone getting their butt whooped? It was right in the game for most people. Now, you know, if you grow up in certain neighborhoods, whether, you know, demographic be darned, the police was always putting a whooping on somebody. That was just kind of the standard. Yes. But for the first time, people who were not used to that behavior got to see it in a real stage where a guy literally got pulled over for little or nothing and got the brakes beat off of it.
Right.
And that's nothing but technology.
And that's what somebody having to have their camcorder outside.
Exactly. So
now we have a phone. So anytime something pops off, the phones are coming out. And then that's always a thing too, because people would rather record than to help.
I think it's a combination of both, right? So let's say somebody get into a fight and I know I cannot fight. And all I'm gonna do is get beat up with you. At least I recorded it. I know I have no hands.
Yeah, but my thing is standing there recording somebody, call the police. People will pick up their phone before they even do that.
True that.
So it's like we have lost the need to help people anymore. It's like not everybody. I'm not saying everybody because it's like I'm not picking up my phone to record a fight. I'm just not.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm not doing that. I don't do that.
No, I'm with you. But it's like it's a twofold situation.
A fight.
Yeah, it's a twofold situation because sometimes it's safety.
Yeah, they do feel like recording itself, but I don't know how in that moment. I mean, they might have something for evidence later on, but the person's done got the brakes beat off of them already.
Yeah, our homie Terrell Murray just said that. He said some people feel like, you know, taking a picture is helping, but it's not effective in most cases.
It's not effective at all. It's not. Because people think a lot of this stuff is funny. And it's for entertainment. So they can post it on the internet and get likes. I hate when I see, and you guys, and then you'll see something and you have 1,000 views of that same incident that you done seen. 20,000 people done posted the same fight from a different angle.
Guilty as charged. That is guilty pleasure.
Nobody called the police. Nobody called the police.
Guilty as charged. Fight videos I will watch because I'm a action sports guy. So street MMA, regular MMA, all for it. That's my guilty pleasure. Guilty as charged. Now, and then there's one. It's a hell of a show. All right, so we go back to Mr. Murray. He said it's not effective. For those people who actually are recorders and not action takers, what would be a way where you can kind of have the best of both worlds? That is my question to the people. Because right now it's just RG. Oh, Michelle is back, I think. Maybe.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I cannot see you.
You can't see me. My camera's on.
Okay, right on.
Okay. Can anybody else see me?
No, we hear a lovely voice coming from a black screen.
I don't know what's happening.
Hey, she's back.
Oh, I turned it off and turned it back on. Look at that.
Nice. I had a question for the people. Is there a happy medium where you can still do the recording on your phone, but you can still be effective? You know what I mean? Let's say you know you can't fight back. You know you cannot stop this assailant from doing X, Y, Z. Is there a happy medium where recording can happen, but you can still kind of help? even if you don't have the skill set to do so.
Well, tell me how.
No, I'm asking. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
Can you record something and help at the same time?
I would say yeah, because we've talked about this on some levels in many different shows, right? Where we're saying, hey, why should my husband or my girlfriend intercede and they never come home to protect you? You know what I'm saying? We've had these conversations. So sometimes people are doing what they feel they can do within their realm, because everybody wants to go home and be with their people. No one wants to get randomly mashed out for something that had nothing to do with them just because they were a good Samaritan. Because I know people who have died that way, where they were the Samaritan we speak of and they never came back. And we're pouring out 40s through that memory. So that's a real thing. So I don't like when people glorify violence, but I understand if they don't get involved. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I understand not you wanting to get involved because, I'm not jumping in no fight.
Right.
Especially, I'm not doing that, but I'm also not going to stand there and record it either.
True.
I'm going to but knowing me, I don't know. I'm just, I might try to pull the person out the fight. I don't know what I would do, but I just couldn't stand it and see, especially if it's a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never know what I would do in those situations, but I'm not recording though. Definitely not recording.
All right, I dig it. I respect it. So we already talked about your killer plant that looks like Little Shop of Horrors. What else have you researched that looks like it can kill us there, Michelle? Yes.
Would you trust someone with experience over someone with credentials, or both?
It's hard to vet people nowadays because everybody can lie in these streets, right?
Yeah.
So, and it goes both ways, because how many people have we seen lie on their resume at work? It's like that dude couldn't type one word a minute, let alone his name, but he got the job because someone made him a really good resume and he talks good.
That's true.
It's really hard to say. I'm kind of a track record person, right? So I'll take you for an instant, right? You're my main woman, 100 grand. I used to say main man, 100 grand, but
right.
If Michelle tells me something, that's word bond. I don't never question it because she's always been spot on. It only takes me to take away from your credibility. It's only you can take away. The only way I would not believe you is you would do something to make me feel like you're not credible and what you're saying is not word bond.
True.
And I do that with a lot of people, especially in the entertainment field or in the political field. Like if you tell me you're going to reduce taxes, I can look back and say, oh, Cat reduced taxes here. He fixed this right here, because that's public stuff that I can see your track record. You know what I'm saying? It goes past the flash and the flashiness, because I can physically see your word has been bond this whole time. So I can take what you say at face value, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I guess I'm leaning with my man with the experience, because I can see what you do.
Predictions don't always mean that they're right.
Yeah. Remember,
because you can have all the degrees in the world and have no experience. That's like, I can understand why people say that, it's hard for some people to talk to, like for me as a Black woman, if I'm going to get a therapist, she has to be Black. I mean, I'm not biased against a man. I would do a man, but you kind of want somebody that can understand the Black experience. And I mean, you might say, okay, therapy is therapy, but no, therapy is a little different when you have someone who doesn't have shared experience in your culture.
Right.
So everything is from the book that they're looking at.
Or I would say like this, because I kind of experienced this, actually having like a counselor who's never ever shared their experience, or they don't know how it feels to be in your position. Let's say like they're like a marriage counselor. I'm just throwing that out there.
Right.
But they never been married though. So, okay. So there's certain things you can tell me about, but until you wake up and the toilet seat is up, I can't take you serious.
Because it's more about, they're looking at everything from a book.
Yes.
That's what they're going by, what the book says. not what they experience. And I'm not saying a therapist should actually be using their own experiences when they're helping someone, but I think there's a level of understanding that they would have.
Yeah.
When it comes to certain things. Okay, I'm not going to project my experiences on you because I've been through it, but I understand. Yeah. And should a therapist understand you? I think so.
Yeah, what's the point? You could just what's the point of having a therapist if they don't understand your position?
Because I had a therapist where my insurance company had just like, I was in this program or whatever, and they just gave me one. And it was an Indian lady. It was an Indian lady and a white lady. And I was like, I don't know what, I was just not comfortable at all. They were very nice, don't get me wrong. They were very, very nice people, but I wasn't comfortable. So the only information that they could give me was the information that they have that's in a book. Well, it sounds like you have this, so you should do this. Whereas when I got with my Black therapist, she was a sister and she understood the Black experience, so it's different.
That's true. Culture, especially in mental health, culture does play a factor. I'm not saying that no other nationality or color can understand you, but sometimes it does take a person to walk in your shoes, literally, to understand the total picture of what you're trying to say.
And that was just for me. Now, listen, I'm not saying other people might. Like my son has a blue-eyed therapist, and
I wouldn't say it, but right on. That was a very odd way to say it. I was mad. You were so politically correct. You made me feel uncomfortable being that politically correct. It was the white person. I'm sorry. It's okay to say white.
And he loves her. And he loves her.
What are you doing, man?
So I'm like, it works for him. For him, he's not. It works for him. And I'm like, okay, if it works for you, then go with it.
Yes.
And he's comfortable there. So I'm fine with that.
And this is another one of our shameless plug. You know what I'm about to do, right? Because we are talking about therapy. You know we haven't done the whole show. You know we haven't done.
Nami.
You got dang right.
Nami.
If you need help, National Alliance of Mental Health, NAMI.org. We joke about it, but we're dead effing serious. Absolutely. This place has tools to help you vet and get better information so you can live a healthier life. Whether it's social media influencing you, whether it's just anxiety, go on this website, get the tools, be okay.
Be okay. Get the tools. Okay. Be okay.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, we joke about it, but we're dead serious at the same time. So I'm gonna ask you a question, right?
Okay.
We talk about this stuff all the time, right?
Right.
Has there ever been a time where someone gave you some level of relationship advice on the internet that you was like, I think I might want to try that?
Absolutely. I'm not going to say that I haven't seen stuff on the internet that I was like, okay, I agree with that. Or I think that's a good idea, or I'm going to try it. I've done that. But I'm not going into anything blindly. It got to make sense to me.
Right.
Like, I'm not just going to jump out the window. Like, you have all these relationship gurus on social media. You know, you got the man against the woman and the woman against the man, and you got all the things all over the internet. But to me, I have seen things that, to me, align with what relationships I feel should look like or what they should be when it comes to a man and a woman. And it's not a one-sided thing. It's not all leaning towards the woman, not leaning towards the man. It's leaning towards how we're going to work on this thing together. And that's the thing that I always say about people. When you're trying to get into a relationship, or when you're single and you're dating or whatever, you want to make sure that that partner aligns with you. If that person is giving you pushback on everything that you stand for, then I don't see the need in pursuing that. Like, why would you continue with that?
I will push back a little bit, right? Because sometimes people can have your back more than you realize. Because sometimes the pushback is something protecting you from things you don't see. Kind of like your parents.
I'm talking about a person that you're trying to date.
Well, if they say, hey, don't go down that aisleway, I feel like you're going to fall, and if you fall and bust your butt,
Yeah, I don't mean
controlling you. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mean that. That's yes, I agree with you on that. But my thing is when it comes to your values and your morals and the things that you stand for, like if you stand, if let me just think of an example.
All right.
If you want to feel safe in a relationship with a man, and that's something that you bring up, and that person responds in a way that's like against that. Oh, all women want to just feel safe. What about the man? That's all women saying. Da 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 da.
I'm sorry. I like feeling safe too. I'm sorry. That's kind of a deal breaker.
No, I understand that. But my thing is just because I'm having a moment and I'm speaking about what I want doesn't mean I'm dismissing what he wants.
No, I'm laughing because I've heard people say that. Like, what about the men? Like,
what about the men? It's like, what?
Look, if you can't fight, she can't fight. Y'all better be real good runners.
Their own experience or their own thing without it being, what about me?
Right. So it's more of this being self-centered, less about actually understanding the point.
And listening, because it doesn't mean that I'm saying that what I'm asking for, I would not reciprocate.
Gotcha.
It doesn't mean that. But if you immediately go to that defensive place of, oh, what about me? Oh, yeah, I'm cool on you. I'm cool on you, bro.
I would just say it like that. If you do go out with this person, be very polite and hold the door for everybody, because you're fighting by yourself. So
you're fighting by yourself.
You are fighting by yourself. They've already told you fighting by yourself. They're gonna be up there with the phone watching you get mashed out. Yes, that's going to happen.
Or a person doesn't want to hear about you when you're being safe, or you feeling or you can't express your emotions to someone. He ain't fight you. And that's for men too. If you can't express yourself and be vulnerable with a woman, she's not for you.
Yeah, that's kind of a fact though.
I'm just saying, emotional maturity is a thing, and a lot of us don't have it.
All right. So, Shell, we're almost at the end of the hour. Big shout out to Ezel for pulling up for a second. Big shout out to Liv. So, would you happen to have any technical tips you could use to help people kind of filter through the nonsense and get the truth they're looking for? You got any tips or anything? I know you're a super duper researcher.
Yes, I do. I will say this. Some voices are meant to inform you. Some are meant to inspire you. But none of them should replace you and your own thoughts. Like, you got to consider that when you taking advice from people
like that.
What do you think? Stop and think about if you can't have a thought about a thing and all you're doing is taking what everybody else is saying, that's a problem. That's a problem.
I respect it. I will say, if you are reading news and you want information, and if you're always a person who listens to like CNN, I would say grab you several sources, some that lean towards the way you believe and some that believe opposite. You usually can find the truth somewhere in the middle, because there are going to be some truths that are going to stack between either story if they are worth their salt in any type of news or reputable news company, I should say. So
yeah, I agree with that. And trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself.
I almost want to give you ISO because they say that 1,000 times.
No, I mean, I just want to say, I think that's important that we trust ourselves. And I think that's a thing. That's a real thing. We don't trust our own decisions. We don't trust our own choices. We don't trust ourselves, but we will trust what everybody else is saying.
We don't. Life. It's almost it's a cop out in some respects, because if you say, well, blah 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 told me to do this, it didn't work out.
Right.
Where's your faith at? Where's your understanding and what you're capable of? That's my question.
Why can't you make a decision about your own life without getting information from someone else or something else? Ask yourself. Every decision that I make, it's because someone else told me that I should do that.
Right.
You don't trust yourself enough to make a decision about your life. Now, I don't see anything wrong with sometimes. That's when you second guess yourself. And I think that happens a lot. And sometimes you might need, okay, let me run this by you. What do you think about
reinforcement?
This? What do you think about this? Okay.
Nothing wrong with seeking wise counsel.
Information, it should not be your decision. You need to sit with that and think about what that person said, what you got going on in your brain, and then you make an informed decision. Don't just go, okay, well, that sounds good. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah. And then now you done been led to hell.
And results may vary. We hear this all the time. Someone else's path to their enlightenment or their goals always looks different from your viewpoint because they had different factors that you don't have or that don't work for you. So you still have to seek your own path and figure out your way to get to where you want to go.
That part.
So, that one guy may have sung on the corner for 5 days. He got discovered by Babyface. Now he has a hit record. You might be on that same corner and you might not ever see nobody. So find your own path.
I'm going to stand on this corner because Babyface was on this corner.
Right. I'm
going to stand over here.
I've seen so many people do stuff like that. Well, blah, 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 did it this way, so I'm going to go here. Or this person, my favorite artist, is on this record label, so I'm going to go to this record label too. You get the worst deal ever in life or never even come out because they just bury you because they're just as good as that guy.
That just brings me up when ODB was mad at
RZA
because he signed him. He wanted to be on Def Jam. But RZA thought that the deal, I forgot what the record company was a better deal for him.
Yeah, Electric.
He was mad because he wanted to be on Def Jam where he felt that everybody else was popping. And he was mad at RZA for that. Mm-hmm. But RZA saw something different and he just wasn't really trying to hear that.
As a Wu listener, Electric was perfect because ODB was out here talking crazy in these streets, and you were never going to put that on Def Jam ever in life.
And he was talking crazy, but I think it was the better deal for that time too.
Oh, absolutely, because they gave him the creative space that he wouldn't have gotten
at Def Jam.
Yeah.
So he thought that his cousin was betraying him, but he was actually looking out for him. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, he's thinking that somebody's against me, but he didn't want to listen to his cousin in that instance when that information. My thing is, you gotta listen to this person because look at who he is, right? And look at what he did. Look at what he brought you guys. He brought all of y'all to where you got to Wu-Tang.
Yes, hey, come on. And he's a proven commodity. He got a record deal on his own, and then he took other people and got them all separate record deals. Yes,
like bro, how is that not amazing?
Dude, and we're turning to music, but think about it. He took 9 rappers with 9 separate styles, got them 9 separate deals, and then a parent deal for all of them.
All of them.
Never been done before.
Never been duplicated. And it's never been done again. Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, they about to go on tour with Bone Thugs.
Yes, and they're coming back to Detroit. So, Teresa, you already know. Going back. Because I seen them last summer. So, yeah, we'll be back.
I said, RG is going to be on this.
Mm-hmm. She sent me the text yesterday. I'm like, yep, go ahead and put this money aside right now. Take all my money, Wu-Tang. I am back.
That should be good. With Bone Thugs, too.
Are we looking at all the members of Bone Thugs? Because sometimes they on some absenteeism. Sometimes they be beefed out. And we don't get the whole crew like we used to back in the days.
I don't know. It could be just one. It could be crazy.
It's gonna be like Bone Thugs. If I'm not
one bone. Right. I mean, I hope that it's all of them. That would be dope if it is.
Yeah, it would be.
That would be really, really dope.
Because I've never seen Bone Thugs live. All these years, I've never seen them in concert live. So it'd be a treat to see them for the first time. So
okay.
But I'm a hip hop kind of purist, so I wouldn't even. It was cool, but it wasn't my steez. You know what I'm saying? Like East 99 is where I stop at with Bone Thugs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it just wasn't me. You know,
Boom, 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 boom.
you go from
Yeah.
1,000 miles of rapping and then you start doing harmony. It took my mind a long time to connect the dots.
To connect the dots, right? Like, wait a
Yes.
minute, what are you doing here?
Right.
What are we doing? But we are at the end of the hour, and we appreciate those for tuning in and rocking with us and commenting and doing all the things, and just keep rocking with us. And if you like what we are doing, please consider donating to the show. Our Cash App is the United Front Network. All proceeds go to the operating fees of this network and all of the things that we do within the community. Like, share, and subscribe. Email us at weareyunited@yahoo.com. If you have any ideas, if you want to be a guest, if you have a show idea, email us. You got the email. And go check out the website. Is our website up?
It is.
All right, the United Front Network. You can catch all the shows. We got merchandise. You got all kinds of things on it. Just go on there and check it out. Just check it out. Just get on there and check it out a little bit.
As Penny would say, touch all the buttons.
Touch all the buttons.
That's right.
And thank you guys for joining us at Running with Scissors. We don't just follow the conversation, we challenge it.
Hell, we are the conversation most days.
We are the conversation, but the conversation, whatever they talking about, that ain't what we talking about.
Nope.
Peace and love, everybody. See y'all next week.
You are now running with scissors. Let's go.